There's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in season.
All right, test, test, test. Looks like everything is working well. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you are. I already see Isaac in the chat. What's up, Isaac? I hope you're doing well. Yeah, I checked the notifications actually from my end. Everything works fine, so maybe double check your YouTube notification settings. I see Impala in the chat as well. What's up, Impala? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so we are back with the weekly Dragonfire stream, right? So we will cover 3 topics today. First, just a quick season overview on what has changed since last week, I guess. Second, we will talk about the 2 big changes that we had this week, which I think are very important to talk about. The first one being the reworked gold chest, right? And the second one being the Zivern battle report fix. And we will take a look, right? We will take a look at the statistics. Our friend Boo has already recalculated the Kingmaker chest. So we will be able to advise on what you should do or not. Okay, Empire said he got the notification as well. Yeah, so this works fine. It must be a local issue. Okay, let's switch to the Game of Thrones screen. Yeah, before we start, I also wanted to remind everyone, tomorrow we have the Summoners War stream, right? Syla and Hendron, who I know very well, are going to introduce that game. I've already set everything up in Streamlabs, so there shouldn't be any technical issues. And yeah, I think it's worth checking out, just if you want to see like what types of other games ex-LOTR players choose to play, right? And yeah, there's a lot to talk about with this game as well. So I already have an account and everything. I will walk you through some of the beginning things in that game as well, just to expand our audience a bit, maybe too, right? And yeah, maybe we can do maybe we can introduce new games every few couple of weeks or so, depending on my schedule and the availability of the guests. Okay, so let's give a quick season update. So yeah, not that much has changed in terms of land ownership, I believe. I think this level 1 keep was taken by some northern player today. So the level 1 keeps, the interesting thing is, that's also something new that we can learn. So level 1 keeps can easily be taken by 2 to 3 players. If you just switch out Siege and grind it down, right? It's very easy to do. Kind of reminds me of the easy LOTR keeps, right? Level 1 LOTR keeps. In Season 1 it was also always very easy to take them solo even, or with 2-3 people, so these can go quickly, right? Now, unfortunately, we did lose our spot next to King's Landing. We were relocated on this island here. I believe, yep. Let me just check. Wait, where's the bridge? I think it's here, right? Yeah, this is a very cool spot when you are outnumbered and when you start in the south. Even when you start central, I think you can get there, because basically, like, you can only be attacked from very limited directions, right? The enemies can't come through here because King's Landing is locked. And so basically, you just have to flip around a bunch of crossings all the time, right? Make sure to catch enemy siege. And yeah, I think we stayed there for like a week or so. I don't know exactly for how long. I think it was 7 days. And we did a really good job, I have to say, so shoutouts to the team. I think it was very fun as well to hold these few choke points, right? In the end, of course, the stamina does run out faster if you're fighting against 4 teams, because there are no real choke points in this game, right? These crossings are just, I call them mini protections, but it's not really something that is comparable to Rise to War, where you had the hefty passes, right? Where you had to wake up at 3 AM in the night and siege it, because that's the time when the enemy has the least players online and things like this. So this does not really exist in this game so far. I'm also not gonna comment on these things. I'm not sure if it's good or bad to have this in the game. I haven't made up my mind about this yet. But in any event, this doesn't exist here. So sooner or later, right, they just went through a crossing, and yeah, we got uprooted and we had to regather, and we did. So now we are in the south. We will try to cause as much pain and annoyance to the 4 teams that are allied together for the rest of the season. I think that's a very good goal to have for us. I spy a mail notification. Is that finally the compensation for gold keys used? Yes, we will get to that, Holy. We will get to that. I'm not there yet. I'm just giving the quick season overview. So, yeah, I think that's the best thing we can do for the rest of the season. Will be as annoying as possible. A lot of these teams seem to forget that, you know, you're stuck with the same people for like the next, until the game releases globally, right? And conservatively speaking, I think 1 versus 1 and even 1 versus 2, we could take these teams quite easily. Yeah, so if you're unnecessarily toxic now, or if you're trying to make our lives hard, just keep in mind, you know, next season we might have a real faction partner, and then things will look pretty differently, right? So it's not a threat or a warning. I just want to point that out because I think a lot of players might not understand this. But yeah, so in any event, we will be annoying until the rest of the season. We will do our best to collect battle reports, finish some of the rewards, etc., right? And yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all we can do. The North has now moved into the central territory and is actively fighting against us there as well, which is quite interesting. So we will see how that turns out. But we've made some decent progress yesterday. I think I'm quite happy with how far we were able to get. And yeah, I mean, you can always keep playing this game, right? Doesn't matter how much you get uprooted. You will keep playing. You will land somewhere else. You will clean all red tiles. You will take keeps again. So yeah, we're gonna keep it up, definitely. We're gonna be as annoying as possible, and we will keep collecting battle reports for the rest of the season. And yeah, that's the situation on our server. If some of the other ORDR people want to write something in the chat, maybe about something I've missed, let me know. I think this was everything that happened since last week. Again, there wasn't a lot of movement. I think these open tomorrow. Okay, so the level 4 keeps will open soon. Yeah. We have Sunspear right now. I think we have it. I actually haven't checked. I think we do have the 2 connecting tiles here still. Yep, we do. That's good. And I think I saw Central started to make their way here, potentially. At least some of them. Looks like they got pushed a bit back again. Okay, that's also good, I guess. And yeah, my armies are stationed here right now. We're fighting in this area for now. So yeah. Okay, so that was the season update. Yeah, we have quite a couple of days left until how much? 10 days left until King's Landing opens. Okay, so the teams will knock out the level 4 keeps over the next couple of weeks, I suppose. And yeah, then we'll go from there. We're already cooking up our next strategic move. So yeah, we have covered the season update for now. I will go through some battle reports as well, but this will be when I talk about the Zivern stuff. Okay, you know, let's do the chest next. I think that's a good topic to do next. So what changed? The Kingmaker's bounty chest was adjusted, and I am very, very happy about this. It's something that I have been advocating for because I believe this should be the best chest in the game, right? Gold keys are very rare, and the chest just wasn't that great before the change, right? You didn't have any pity pulls, and the pulls for the really good stuff were extremely rare. So basically, like you opened, I don't know, we have players who opened 30, 40 of these, right? And they basically got like 15 pulls each time, right? Which is not great. That's not how the premium chest should look like. So I'm glad they changed it. We have guaranteed pity drops now. 50 for gold, 20 for epic. You get a 2 times elite drop, which is equal to 200 relics, right? So this is a very good way to make this chest better. Simply better, right? What's also really cool is they added a double super drop, where you have the opportunity to get 2,000 dragon relics in one pull. This is insane. I haven't calculated this, to be honest, but I think basically if you get a gold dragon 2k pull, you immediately go to 7 stars, which is dope, right? Like if a free-to-play or a low spender gets this, it's a serious game changer. So that's very cool. Now if we look at the maths, of course this looks good, but we need to make sure that, well, like I said, that the chest is actually better as well. You should see the table now that Boo has sent me this morning. We have 4 reward categories. Of course, the rare relics is useless because the Kingmaker's bounty chest doesn't have rare dragon shards, right? So you can ignore the first row here. But essentially, we see, so the cost of the Kingmaker's bounty is 5 to 1. So 5 regular keys are equal to 1 Kingmaker key. This just comes from the market exchange, right? The developers they sometimes give you a gold key in the market to buy, and it's priced like this. So this is the rate you have to use. And essentially we can see that the elite relics, the legendary relics, and the high tier total in all of these categories, the Kingmaker chest wins now, right? And this is exactly how it should be. So if you have gold keys, make sure to use them now, because this is the best chest now in the game. Now, of course, the gold keys are still rare, and you can't just buy them. So you have to win events, or you have to buy certain packs where they are included. Yeah, and just now basically there is a proper reward for the gold keys, which is how it should be. Now let me remove the image again. There we go. So Holy has mentioned we see a system announcement here. So let's take a look and see what this is about. Greetings, Dadreds. I hope you're doing well. Noble Dragon Rider, we have received news of improvements to our premium dragon chest, the Kingmaker's Bounty. Be sure to visit the hatchery to investigate these new changes, which include a guaranteed double elite drop of legendary relics after 50 opens, and a double elite drop of epic relics after 20 opens. We've also increased our super drop to a double super drop. Because you have opened a number of Kingmaker's Bounty chests prior to this change, we have gifted you these additional Dragonfire keys to thank you for playing Game of Thrones Dragonfire during our soft launch. Thank you for your continuous feedback in our Discord and for playing Game of Thrones Dragonfire. So this is something that the Rise to War developers, they have never managed to do this properly. This development team is much better when it comes to gifting players back a value of their investment after it has been spent if something changes about the game. Okay, so they changed the premium chest to be better, so everyone who used gold keys on the bad premium chest before gets a gift. This is how it should be, right? This is a very nice move by the developers. I will always note this as extremely positive because they don't have to do this, yeah? Mobile games, like we talked about this a lot during Rise to War, mobile games don't have a lot of serious regulations. The developers can pretty much do what they want, right? But this is a sign that they don't just say, fuck you, you know, you've spent this, tough luck, now it's different. They gift you something, and I think this is a really cool move. So this is something, again, this is something you won't see in a lot of mobile games, and it's very nice. Now, I don't know how many gold keys I've opened in the past, to be honest. 20 seems like a very nice gift to me. So we will definitely open these. We will delete this message because we have read it, right? And yeah, let's see if we can get a nice pull, I would say. Again, so the drop rates, they haven't changed them, of course, so you can't expect to get constant 200 and 2000 pulls, right? That's extremely unrealistic to expect that. But the pity drop is the big thing, right? If you keep getting gold keys and if you keep spending them, you will eventually get a really nice drop, and that's very important for a chest like this. So essentially, yeah, let's just open the keys that we were gifted and see what we get, right? I'm gonna go through this slowly so that you know, we can savor the moment. It's not every day where we have 20 gold keys to spend. So Tashik's is 8 stars now, very nice. Like I said, for Tashik's the big power spike is at 10 stars, so this is just a very cute little boost. Yeah, so instincts and initiative is reduced of 3 enemies, sure. We got a 200 pull on Tashik's, I think. 15 on Vega, that's also nice. 15 on Cyrex, and I think 2 times Shadow Song, right? That's why it says 30. So we got one nice purple pull already. I'm quite happy with this, and 15 on the Crimson, also very nice. I think Crimson and Sea Smoke are the only gold dragons that I don't have at the adult level yet, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so this was the first 10. Pretty decent, I would say. Let's open the last 10 now. See if, oh, there's a big purple pull. Let's see. Okay, we got the 200 on Sea Smoke. I'll take that. A 200 on Shadow Song, also nice. A 200 on Velar. Yeah, I mean, this looks pretty good to me. 15 on Vega, 15 on Malachite. That's very nice. As you know, I'm trying to get my Malachite to 5 stars at least, because he's very essential to my B team. And yeah, we got a 200 elite drop on Sea Smoke. Now, Sea Smoke is one of those dragons, to be honest, I haven't really found the best use of Sea Smoke yet. But in any event, if you siege or if you tile or whatever, it's always nice to have higher stat dragons, right? So I'll absolutely take it. 15 on Vega again as well. We're kind of getting closer to that 7-star spot. Vela I don't really care about. Like I said, I don't think it's a very good dragon in my tier list if you've watched that. And Shadow Song is also kind of on the bench for me now. But the 15 Malachite is very nice. I think we will have him 5 stars at the end of the season. So yeah, so this is the new gold chest with some openings. I notice I have 1 key left. We can open that one as well. Of course, the pity resets when you pull, right? Obviously. Let's see what we get with the last key. This is 15 purple, I believe. Okay, we got another one on Tashik's. Okay. For some reason, the game loves to give me the Tashik's relics. Yeah, it's pretty funny. But I mean, yeah, Tashik's is not that bad. I think at 10 stars he will get a lot better if we ever get there. But yeah, the game just throws these Tashik's relics at me. Now Malachite needs 40 more for the next star. That's very nice. And I think we got a Crimson 15 as well. I don't even remember. Crimson is at 335 out of 500. Okay, that's also pretty good. And yeah, Sea Smoke is almost at 5 stars now as well. So it's only Venator slacking behind a bit. I got excited seeing 20 keys, went to check mine and only had 1. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know how they sent them, but I mean, you have to keep in mind, Holy, we got the gold keys from the King's Landing last season as well, right? But I'll ask Lord of Dragons how many he got. I think that will be a good baseline to see how much they gave like the top Krakens as compensation. But I mean, it's free stuff, right? Like even 1 gold key for free, it's nice. It shows that the developers are thinking about us, and yeah, I appreciate it. So good stuff. Okay. Second thing, the Zivern battle reports are now viewable. Let's just. Oh wow! he sent. Yeah, this is a fun report to start with, I guess. So there is a neat little trick. Maybe I'm not gonna go too much into detail here, but when you are defending like an objective, you can use resolve to restack the order on top of the defending objective, right? So let's say, for example, your reinforcements don't arrive on time, and you have like this left, like less than half of an army, right? So what we did here, or what I did here, was or what Impala did here, to be honest, was he saw that Fanfan attacked with the main team, and so he used Resolve to dodge the main team, and then Fanfan attacked with Siege. He recalled the army quickly, and he caught the siege, right? This is a very nerdy thing to do, and it's obviously very efficient. You can see this guy almost lost like his entire army to my, what is this, like 2k or whatever. I mean, that's really good, obviously. So this is something that if you are defending an objective and, you know, a lot of enemies are sending siege recklessly, this is a good option to catch siege, right? So very nice. In any event, so this report has a Zivern, right? So we can click here on details. I showed this already on the video about the 3 positive and 3 negative things about Dragonfire on Wednesday, and it works perfectly fine now, right? You can head into the first round. You can see that Cyrex is under the effect of Messenger's call from Zivern. Chance to trigger increases by 6%. And then we have Caraxes is under the effect of Messenger's call from Zivern. Chance to trigger increases by 6%. Right, so this is very, very nice. Did my Cyrex... the Blazing Fury activated here, yes. So Zivern gets a 4% chance to boost his command as well. And you can see, like in the first round, we already have a ton of damage, just because all of my dragons procced their commands. Right, this is the bread and butter of this army. And Zivern activated Silent Shade as well. Right, beautiful. So yeah, Zivern battle reports work now. And you can see in the first round, like, immediately all of my commands trigger, and if this was a real army, I would still do a lot of damage, yeah? Like, this is basically, this is the key idea of this army, is to trigger as many commands as quickly as possible, and you will have a good time, right? Because even though I have, like, basically no troops left here, the damage output from the dragons is really, really good, yeah? So this is something, this is one of the armies that I've been playing around with, and I really like it, to be honest. I haven't upgraded any of the Cyrex habits yet. Caraxes is also not fully upgraded, so there is still improvements to be made. If we check here, actually, my Caraxes, what's the first one? Reduce intelligence and instinct. Aha, okay. So this is actually important when you fight the mirror match. And this is always important when you play Cyrex, because you want to get the slow and the burn all the time, right? So we will have to see how this works in the mirror match when these habits are fully upgraded on both sides. I'm actually quite curious. But as I understand it, the guy who goes first basically wins, right? Unless there is a massive spending difference. So we'll see how that works out. Now we run Caraxes in lead in this army, of course, because he gets the nice fire damage boost, and we increase strength and initiative by 20 of our Zivern, right? Which is also important for this army, because Zivern is obviously a purple star dragon, so his base stats are not that high. We see here we have 186 on the initiative, right? Which the turn order is very important in this game. And our Cyrex has 476 initiative. Yeah, okay. Yeah, again, these stats, I've already commented on this as well. I think, like, the gap is just too large. Yeah, between especially, like, this is 7-star purple. If we go to blue, it will be even worse, right? And this is, like, in terms of initiative, this is crazy, right? Like, ridiculous. But yeah, the idea is that my Zivern goes before the enemy Veldra, which is exactly what happens in this case, right? Because we are on 206 and they are on 202. So yeah, that's the idea, I guess. Yeah, there's also, like I said, there's a bunch more going on, like the it's not this one, it's this one, Flight Mastery. You can increase the initiative of 3 allies and reduce the initiative of 3 enemies, right? This is something that's really worth upgrading in the long term. This is something that's really worth upgrading. Obviously, I talked about this in the tier list already. And then this is also something that's worth upgrading, because a lot of the stuff from Cyrex's kit scales of the initiative, right? So you have the enhanced by initiative here on the recovery, right? Very, very important. And yeah, like I said, it's good to go fast anyway, even if the command doesn't have anything to do with the initiative, which in this case it obviously does. The 10-star is amazing, of course, but unless I get the lucky 2k pull from the gold chest or a couple of them, I think it will be hard to get here. It will take a while, but this is obviously this habit is also amazing, right? Because you make your army much tankier, you make sure that the RNG gets reduced a bit in terms of bad reports, and all of that stuff. So that's good. Yeah, so Cyrex still needs some upgrades. Caraxes, I think I showed this last time already. This stuff needs to be done still, and Zivern is finished. I have him relatively close to 8 stars, so obviously this will be maximized as well. It's not such a big deal, but your main army should just have maximized habits if it's possible, right? I've chatted with Roasted and I've chatted with Lord of Dragons and a lot of the other Krakens, and they all tell me like 6-star adult dragons are perfectly fine. The habit upgrades are really, really important in a lot of the fights, and I totally agree with that. I think it's very accurate. I will say some dragons get a lot stronger at 10 stars, obviously, but for now, in the current situation of the game, definitely focus on those main army core upgrades, because they are very, very, very important for sure. Okay, let's try to find some non-siege reports. This was just something like the neat little trick, right? This was also a siege army. I don't know what happened here. Maybe it was the resolve trick again. But yeah, I mean, obviously, this is as expected. Maybe this was a real fight. No. This was also not a... This was all siege. These guys waste a lot of troops, to be honest. Like, if we played like this, we'd be out of resources in like a couple of hours for sure. This was a real fight. Okay, so here I was roughly... I mean, I was above half, right? It's into a disadvantage. He was also not full, but I definitely won the resource trade by a large margin here, which is pretty cool. 9k, basically 10k on Caraxes, 3k on Zivern with a 1.4k heal. So my Cyrex. My Cyrex basically healed the same as their Malachite, right? Which is really impressive, because like people don't really appreciate the heal, but I actually think the Cyrex heal is pretty good. Like, especially if you get the slow from Caraxes as well, which does happen once you upgrade the habits, right? I think it's pretty good. Like, this is a base 1.4k heal of 7 procs. I kind of like it. This is a 9 proc, yep. And then we have Zivern. This is unlucky, honestly. Zivern should do a lot more damage here. So we kind of got unlucky as well. He got 3 for 3. Obviously no command percentage boost, so I would say this is a very standard report for the Rissarion army. He plays this wrong. This is definitely not how you should play Vega, Rissarion, and Malachite together. The Vega belongs in the middle, the Malachite belongs left, and the Rissarion belongs right. Because the Vega boosts the tactical damage of the Malachite. The Vega also reduces the incoming damage when he's in the lead. And he also boosts the Rissarion in the right lane with the physical damage. So this composition is not entirely correct, which is why this report went particularly well, right? This guy is an 8-star Rissarion, so not a slouch. He doesn't have the adult golds, of course, but yeah, I mean, this is a very good report, I would say, into a disadvantage. You won't see a lot of these. When you take over a new enemy keep, do you clear all tiles in the zone or accept they can tile from behind you? Also, when does the campaign actually reset? We are in stage 9 at the moment. I think cleaning all the tiles is recommended in this game. Because, like you said, like the enemies, they can use those tiles as jumping points if they play quickly and strategically smart, right? So that's definitely something that a lot of people will do if you don't clean properly. I would focus on doing that. Yeah. And the keeps are not really. I will say this as well, though. The keeps are not really a big deal in this game right now. This will change soon. I'm not gonna say anything more about that because I'm not allowed to talk about this. But the keeps will change soon. A lot of the feedback that the community has provided, it will hopefully come to fruition in a couple of weeks, months, who knows, right? But currently the keeps are basically useless. Like you take a keep and then you have a different color on the map, but it doesn't really advance like your level of gameplay, right? Like you can, even if we lose all of our keeps, we can still play the game quite comfortably. Like the enemy doesn't have crazy amounts of boosts. There isn't anything going on that would prevent us from keeping the fight up, right? So two answers here. First one is I would clean if I did it properly, yes. But the second answer is it's okay if they take back the keep because you're not really losing immense value, right? And that's something, yeah, worth mentioning. In terms of when the campaign resets, so the way it works is after you complete the last chapter. I think it gave us a notification. I'm not entirely sure. I think there might have been like a system notification that a new campaign is coming up or whatever, and you have to pick the faction. And then once the server closes, for us it was like 10 minutes after the server closed, the new season began, right? So you know the date when the server closes, and 10 minutes after that you can log into your account, you can farm up, you can play the game. The maintenance was much faster and more smoother than in Rise to War, if that's a good reference point for you. It didn't take like, I don't know, it didn't take like what was it? In Rise to War, like they were doing maintenance for an hour in the final version of the game, I think. Sometimes it was also, no, it was actually like 2 to 4 hours, I think, the maintenance. So it's much faster in this game for right now. This might change, I don't know. It depends on how they make the merges work in the future. But yeah, it's very fast. 10 minutes after the server closes, you log in, you play a new season, right? So that answers your questions. Okay, so this was a good report. I'm quite happy with this. I don't know if this is his main army. I don't remember all the armies because we're fighting against a lot of people, but I mean, this is a pretty good army, I would say. And like I said, if he switches this around, I would have taken a bit more damage, but yeah, it's a good report. Okay, so these other character reports, let's look at some of them yesterday, maybe. Maybe there was some... let's go back, like, I don't know, like here. 17 hours is a bit long. Maybe here. Let's take a peek here. So here we're fighting Vlad the Impaler. Vlad is a pretty big player on this server, I think. You can see he has a 6-star Malachite, a 6-star Vega, and a 6-star Velar. I'm fighting into an advantage, and I know for a fact he has upgraded a lot of his habits already. So, again, I would say this is a pretty solid fight. We got a bit unlucky with the Cyrex procs here. I would say this is very average for Vela. I always see them proc 1, 2, or 3 times usually because the command percent chance is so low, right? My Zivern procced 8 times, which is nice. I mean, this is also like a pretty respectable report, I think. Vlad is a good player, like I said. We fight into a counter, so I like this report, yeah. My Caraxes procced here 6 times, so what I guess happened is that he did not get the command percent increase necessarily. Let's see. So Cyrex got it from Messenger's Call, nice. He did get it from Messenger's Call, okay, so it's just simply a little bit unlucky, right? Cyrex, let's see. Cyrex used his basic attack here. No, basic attack, okay. There we go. Affecting Zivern, so Cyrex affected Zivern here. This is unlucky. My Zivern had less troops, apparently, which doesn't make a lot of sense in this report because his right flank was pretty weak. So apparently there was a situation where my Zivern had less troops than Caraxes, right? Which is very unlikely in this army. But yeah, it happens from time to time. You just have to accept it, right? It's an RNG-based game. But like I said, this is a good report. I'm very happy with this. Vlad is one of the players I really struggled with before I changed my army, so I'm pretty happy with this result. Let's take a look at the Vega army. So Vega just has the problem that I don't have the Malachite at 6 stars yet. Yeah, that's the big downfall, and I haven't upgraded Risarion, Malachite, or Vega habits to maximum. And you can see this in the battle reports, right? Like if you fight, this player is also pretty big. He was called Slayer before, he changed his name. He has a 7-star Cyrex into my 4-star Malachite. Of course, it will be very tough for the Malachite, right? 7-star Vega into 6-star Vega, 6-star Caraxes, 6-star Risarion. So this is obviously a very upward battle. I also haven't finished my troop upgrades for this army yet, so I have to run the archers, even though it's not optimal here, right? So this is, I would say this is a very standard report. Like if we repeat this battle 20 times, it will basically look like this 20 times. Yeah, then my Caraxes killed him. Then my Caraxes fought into a disadvantage again. We went full, obviously, as well. I'd say this is fine, yeah. Let's just check out some more reports. This is my Vega into Fanfan. Here you can see it's more even because he also doesn't have an adult Caraxes. I don't have an adult Malachite, right? We actually got quite unlucky here with the Malachite procs as well. This is a pretty good fight. He wasn't full, but I think this is a good fight. I'm quite happy with this. He got 7 Cyrex procs here, which is also pretty crazy considering he doesn't boost the command at all, right? The command percent activation chance. So I had the advantage here, which is probably what saved me. So yeah, it's a pretty chill report. The Vega team stalemated another army. This is exactly the point of the Vega army, right? You want to get as many stalemates as possible in this composition. So they had to send, what is it, 60 energy or something, which is a lot. Sorry, 30 energy, which is quite a lot in this game for main armies, right? Here we are fighting against Mahatta or Mahatta. I don't know how you pronounce it. Yeah, that's a very good report, right? No advantage on either side. These are the reports I like to look at because they like really tell you what's going on, right? Like here's a 7-star Vega, I have a 6-star Caraxes, 6-star Cyrex, 8-star Cyrex, and 7-star versus 6-star. So in terms of the stars, I mean, his Vega is ahead, his Cyrex and Zivern are a little bit behind. In terms of the procs, we only got 3 Caraxes procs here. That's very, very rare. I didn't see that a lot in this army yet. And we got a really sizable win, right? This is a very good report. The Cyrex triggered 7 times, also a lot, considering he does play the percent command activation boost, of course. So this is actually fine. This is pretty average, I would say. My Cyrex was a bit below average. It's funny, you can see here, like, my Cyrex with 4 procs does 3.3k, and their Cyrex with 6 procs does 3.2k, right? This is really where the stars come into play. And yeah, like I said, I think the stats are a bit crazy on the higher star dragons, especially the gold ones. But yeah, just something interesting to note as well, I guess. Okay, then we fight Mahatta with the Caraxes team. I was at half, I had an advantage. It's a very good report. He lost half his army. I lost half of my half army. 9 Caraxes procs, beautiful. Very good report, yeah. Obviously I had the advantage here. My Vega killed his Vega team as well. I was really happy about this actually. I might have gotten a bit lucky here. 4, 5, yeah, the Zivern proccing 1 time, that's definitely extremely rare. My Malachite procced 5 times. Yeah, my Vega 6 times. So we definitely got a bit lucky here, but this is a really good report. Like I said, this is like a shield bearer army. I might talk about some more advanced tips in another video. I don't want to make this stream like about advanced tips. I think we had enough stuff to cover today, right? I need to make sure that I stack the content over the next few weeks as well. But this is a good report to see there's a lot of RNG in this game, right? Like you can get lucky, you can get unlucky. It is what it is. You can do certain things to get a bit luckier. But he's playing a nice army. I think I would maybe put... He will have to test if his Cyrex does more tactical damage than his Zivern. We can take a look here, actually. This is something you can think about. It's not opening the battle report right now. But yeah, like, Cyrex also does, like the stat difference is so large between these two dragons, right? That you could play around with Cyrex in the left lane as well. But this is pretty much what I played previously before I got the really nice 1k pull on my Cyrex. So this is definitely a good army. I like this one. I don't know if you played this at the start of the season, by the way, but yeah, I mean, whatever. Okay, here we have a report against FunFun. I don't know what this army is supposed to do, but it's good to see that we did pretty well into a disadvantage. This is a very odd composition. Yeah. I think Venator really requires a taunt protector, right? And Calspire 3 stars on the right is also interesting. Maybe he was trying something. Maybe they were trying something out. I'm not sure. I think we stopped here. Yeah. So this was the next report. Anyway, nice. What was okay? This was a level 10 tile actually. Yeah. So this was that one. Here we caught some siege, I believe. I mean, maybe this is their main army actually. This is also a good report because you can see like blue dragons really suffer in this game, right? Like it's very hard to get good results with blue dragons, and yeah, even I mean obviously I've spent, I mean my dragons are far ahead of their dragons, right? But if the stats were like somewhat similar, the report wouldn't look like this, right? This is something that I really hope they adjust the stats a little bit, or at least the damage rates, because yeah, like blue dragons are just not really playable at the same level right now, in my opinion. Yeah, okay, here we were like at half with the stall army, right? This is a 7-star Sea Smoke, 6-star Tashix, and 3-star Crimson. Okay, that's a good report for them, of course, because yeah, we were not full. This army, it's meant to stall, really. It's not really meant to necessarily win resource trades, right? Like this is an army. Once I get the Malachite to 5-6 stars, it will be a lot better. But this is an army that really needs the habit upgrades, because otherwise it's very hard for you to get winning results, I would say. So this is basically what I use for now to drain my enemy's stamina, make them waste a lot of attacks, right? That's the goal of this army. Okay, this was not full, so no point in looking at that. This was siege. This was siege. Yeah, we caught a lot of siege here, which is nice. This report we already looked at. Okay, maybe there are a couple more reports worth looking at if we scroll back a little bit further. This was 21 hours ago, so I was at half and he was full. It was into a disadvantage. Very happy with this report. Yeah, I think I might have even... This is an even resource trade, I think, even though I was at half, so that's not bad, right? This was my Vega team into the Combra, so the Combra is behind on stars, obviously. This was a good report. This was my Vega team into FanFan. This was a really good report because we had the advantage, right? We lost very little. Even though we were not full, we won this fight, I would say. This is a main army from 40s. Yeah, you can see like if the players are like significantly weaker, this army is really, really deadly, right? Because they really struggle to out damage the heals, right? I have 1.7k heal here, which basically negates all their damage. Yeah. And we took another hit from Notso as well. So this is, I mean, you can see here, right? This is 4 hits without reinforcing. That's what this army is meant to do, pretty much. You really need Resarions first and third habit upgrade for the army to work. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I said. I mean, I'm focusing on my main army first, right? This is more just a bonus. I'm not spending ridiculous amounts of money on this game. I'm very happy with just, you know, gradually boosting stuff, gradually becoming better. And I'm very happy with how this army is performing for now. So it's doing what it's supposed to do. Here we fight into the Combre into a disadvantage, and we win. He has a 7-star Venator. Yeah, okay, so this guy can definitely make a better army than what we see here, right? So this player, he should focus on making one main team that is really, really strong, rather than splitting up across many different teams, because this team is not very strong, even though he has like 2 7-star dragons, you know? Like, he has the advantage here. If I fight a 7-star gold dragon and I have the disadvantage, basically I should always lose that fight, like in terms of resources, right? And we traded, like we won the trade here, which is, I mean, it's pretty nice, right? 7k on my Cyrex, 6k on his Venator, 5k on Cyrex, 2k on Vega, 4k on Resarion, 6k on Zivern. So yeah, he had a nice heal as well, 2.2k. This means he upgraded the habits of the Resarion, right? But it's a good fight. I mean, this player has obviously invested some decent amounts of cash. This is the second fight. So with the glass cannon armies, you have to be very careful with the second fights. Most of the time it's gonna go pretty bad, especially if you fight the second fight into 6-star gold dragons as well, right? So this makes a lot of sense, this report. I mean, we did get some nice damage out, but this resource trade, I definitely lost that resource trade. And he had the advantage as well, of course, so there's that, right? I heard a notification. Thank you, Karatzel, for the 10 Swiss francs. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well and having a nice evening. Yeah, so this was, I mean, yeah, like I said, this report makes sense. This guy wasn't full. This guy is a lot weaker in terms of the dragons, right? So, like I said, this team into weaker armies, even without the upgraded Resarion stuff, it's really deadly. Yeah, this is something that a few of the like medium whale players they should consider running this as well. And it eats a lot of stamina, right? Like these guys attack, and I can just sit there and absorb the hits pretty much, right? So this is, I mean, they used 30 stamina again on this army without reinforcements, and they lost all of the resource trades as well, right? Obviously, I already said it, much weaker players, but this is good. Like, I'm really happy with this. Yeah, and then actually they used 40 stamina because this guy also attacked. Once you get like to this point where basically like 1 or 2 of the dragons are almost dead, you die, right? Like, nothing to be done about that. Okay, let's see if we can search for a couple more. I think there was not a lot of action apart from these. Okay, I mean, these are a couple of half-full fights, I guess. Yeah, okay. Hani has low-star dragons, right? So this is obviously expected. Maybe I have a couple more Caraxes reports. It's pretty good. Yeah, 6-star Zivern. I wasn't full in this fight, right? This guy has a lot lower stars than me. This is actually a really nice report to look at. I fought against Fan. I had the advantage here, and they got absolutely cooked here, right? This is really good report. Yeah, yeah, if I have the advantage, obviously it's really tough to fight against me, right? Because the 8-star Vega does bully his the 8-star Cyrex does bully the 6-star Cyrex, 6-star Caraxes bullies the 5-star Caraxes, and 7-star Zivern bullies the 6-star Vaeldra. Actually, we can check here if who was faster between Cyrex and Vaeldra. Okay, this is the Vaeldra that is faster. Okay, so definitely I have to upgrade some of the Cyrex habits, because one of the key points in this army is that my Zivern goes before the Vaeldra, right? And this is currently not the case. So we will need some Cyrex habit upgrades. But that's okay. I mean, we have time. It's a soft launch game. There is no rush. Yeah, but that's a really good report, right? I see we found not so as well in this report. Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said, if the vanilla spear army, it will really struggle into this team, which is kind of the point, right? If I have the advantage, I'm never losing this fight, basically, right? Like, I have to get like insanely unlucky. And here we have another report against Fan, very nice, right? Yeah, I mean, lots of really good reports. Like I said, I'm very happy with this army. I think it's doing a lot. It's definitely one of the better armies you can have right now, and yeah, we will keep on improving it. We will keep on improving the Vega army. And that's pretty much what we shall do over the next few weeks, months, or whatever. Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough for the stream today. We did almost an hour, I think, right? Which was a little bit longer than I had planned, but that's okay. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks again for the donation, Karatze. And I'll see you guys. Yeah, tomorrow we have a special stream, right? Like I said at the start of the stream, tomorrow we will have 2 guests who will introduce a game that they have played more intensively after Rise to War has shut down. And we will have like a panel style discussion with them about what they like about the game, what they don't like about the game. I will open the game up as well. I heard another donation sound. Thank you, Isaac, for the 10 Swiss francs. I appreciate it. I hope this video today was useful, by the way. I tried to dive a little bit more into the detail of the reports and why I do certain things as opposed to others, right? So this is meant to be purely informational, right? So I hope it is. Anyway, thanks for the donation. I really appreciate it. And like I said, tomorrow, Summoner's War, we will take a short break from Dragonfire. And next week, I do have a couple more video ideas for Dragonfire apart from the live streams. Like I said, I will space out the content a little bit so that we don't get bored. But we will see if I have time next week. I am unfortunately quite busy until mid-February, really, maybe end of February, depending on the progress that I make. But afterwards, I will have a little bit more time to upload videos during the week as well. Maybe cover some of the specific topics that subscribers have asked for. And yeah, until then, we'll keep up the weekly streams. We can take a quick look at my buildings before we leave. So obviously, the archers are maximized, right? This is minus 12%. Plus, where is it here? Minus 4%, so minus 16%, right? Counter only gives you 7%. This is kind of what I was talking before. This is the reason why I only play archers on my armies now, because I have these two maxed. And if you calculate it, it's worth it to do this instead of playing shield bearers into the advantage, for example. Because as you can see, my shield bearers are not upgraded, obviously, because I focus my main team, which is correct, and thus the second team has archers for the time being as well. That's why I play archers on my Vega army, in case anyone is wondering. Again, you can check this yourself just by looking at the stats, right? This is something important that a lot of players, they might not understand it at this stage. And what we're doing now is we're finishing the Sentinel and Hunter stuff, which will also make our PvP army a lot stronger. And this is what we will focus on over the next couple of weeks. This section is for the B team, right? My A team has 2 Sentinels and 1 Hunter, and so this is what I should focus first. And you can see it in the quality of the reports anyway. So I actually haven't checked if my enemies are roughly around the same building upgrades as me. Considering that they outnumber us heavily, I would assume that they have used... Central hasn't really fought us for the last week, except for the last 2 days, right? So I assume they have finished up a lot of the buildings that we didn't have time to finish yet. But if we take a look here, Fan is actually a good... We can see it right at the start, I think. Let's see, what do we have here? 40% strength, for example. So if we take a look here, how far are they ahead in terms of this? Where's the strength? The strength is... Oh, actually, I think I have... So this is 10%, okay. So strength I have fully upgraded, okay. I think that's the only thing I fully upgraded out of these other buffs. Let's check if we can quickly see. So this is the strength, blah blah blah. We have the intelligence. Okay, so he has plus 13% on intelligence and plus... Where's the instinct? Strength, intelligence... Ah yeah, 13% on the instinct as well. Okay. Let's see how that compares to our upgrades. So we have Wisdom of Valyria at 10% plus 3%. Okay, so this is equal. So I guess the Conqueror's Instinct is also equal. Okay, so they're actually not that far ahead in the building upgrades. That's good. We did, I mean, to be fair, we do upgrade these every day, right? Like, we have enough resources to do this quite easily, but... You're looking at your own buffs, or am I? Or did I do that? That's my bad then. Okay, so Holy said I was looking at my own buffs, which makes a lot of sense. Oh, right, I come first in this army, right? Okay, he didn't finish, or they didn't finish the strength. Okay, so in strength we are ahead. Oh, they're... Yeah, see, this is the problem when... I know this is the problem when you focus on, like, multiple troops, for sure. We have 7.6 on the Spearmen here. Okay, so I'm curious about their other army, if they are around the same range. We need to find... Oh, actually, it showed the spear, so we can see the others in the here as well. I didn't even know that, to be honest. Spearman archer damage dealt. Aha! Yes! You can see it here. That's very cool. Okay, yeah, so you can see basically they have split their upgrades between spearmen and archers, right? That's why they are much lower than the upgrades that I have done in this case. But Holy said they are ahead on initiative. Okay, so he has plus 30% on initiative. Okay, yeah, I didn't upgrade the initiative yet, 19%, because, like I said, I was focused on some of the other upgrades. Okay, so this is interesting. So they actually prioritize the initiative. I mean, the troop stuff is obviously wrong, 100%. They should also focus on fully maximizing one troop. And this will be, how much is it with one troop? It's 16%, right? That's definitely something. I mean, there's a big difference. I'm like 10% ahead in just the troops, right? But I can see how upgrading initiative is more important than the fire damage or the tactical damage, for example. So they have, okay, they are far ahead in intelligence and instincts as well. Yeah. So like I said, so these guys, they haven't been fighting against 3 other teams simultaneously or 4 other teams, right? So obviously they are expected to be ahead in terms of resources and in terms of some of these upgrades. So actually these reports are me fighting from a bit of a disadvantage, I guess you could say, right? So that makes them a little bit more impressive even, which is cool. So my first flame is only at 9% right now here, right? And this is 10%. And we already checked the instincts and the intelligence. It was 13% or something, I think, right? And they are at, what were they at? I think they were close to 30% or 40% even. And this also plays a big role, obviously, right? He's on 25% instincts, okay. And intelligence was 28%. Yeah, so they're a bit ahead here. I think if they did the troops correctly, it would be quite tough, actually. But yeah, that's a good comparison. There's so much to look into with these reports. I could spend definitely several hours finding out some stuff, but yeah, I think this is a good baseline, and you know, people know what's going on. We took a look at my building upgrades, right? These are the really important ones. It's very important that you maximize one troop first, because it gives you a big advantage in the fights. Yeah. And then when you have the resources and you have done the dragon care, you can slowly start going into some of these other troops. Obviously. But yeah, I will finish this section first, then I will go for the first flame. I will leave these a bit on the back burner for now. Actually, we can do this now. Why not? And then we will finish this section, and then we will do this section here. And yeah, then my first army is pretty much maximized, I believe. So how many weeks are we into the season? It does take quite a while, right? We're on stage 7, so maybe by stage 9 I can finish this. Yeah, I think this is realistic. Stage 9. It does take a while, yeah. These upgrades do take a while. Okay, now it's definitely enough. Just something I wanted to check quickly before I quit. So again, tomorrow, Saturday stream at 17 UTC. Thanks for the donations to Karatzel and Isaac. I appreciate you guys. It also encourages me to make more content, of course. Also, one interesting thing before we end, I have invited several other teams and leaders to this game. I just heard that Step picked up Dragonfire yesterday, so Step will be playing this game as well. They just started their season 1. Panda is interested in this game. Vena played the season 1 with us, if you don't know. Vena is the Panda leader. And yeah, we basically chatted a bit about some features and some things, right? And I know that Bear is also looking into picking up this game. But they are not convinced about certain things yet, which is fair enough. I mean, this is a soft launch, right? But the goal is to get a lot of players involved, a lot of teams involved. Community needs to grow, obviously. We need to make sure this game has a lot of players. No one wants to fight the same people for 10 seasons in a row, which was the case in Rise to War, right? It just became so boring. Like, it's really hard to motivate, and I do hope this game gets a lot more players when it's released globally. So I'm doing my part. I hope some other leaders and players are doing their part as well. And yeah, hopefully we can get a couple more teams involved. Will definitely be good for the game. And that's it for today. Thanks guys for watching, and I wish you a pleasant night, a pleasant afternoon, a pleasant morning wherever you are, and we will see each other again tomorrow. Bye bye.
But all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away